Alrighty, so hello everyone, I'm Tim from Tim's PC and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. Also, I live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you'd like to get an awesome new PC and you'd like to see it get put together live, send me a message today. What's up, babe?
Your mouth and this is... You're like really... It's like super laggy.
Super laggy, it should be fine. The upload rate is fine. Is anyone noticing any problems with the stream? We're just getting everything configured on Christine's new PC. So this is our first, right now is our first actual live stream with the new setup because we've had to completely redo everything, so. Just let me know if there's lag or anything weird with the stream, if it looks different, etc, etc. I mean, it looks a little bit delayed for us.
Yeah, it's really bad.
But we just want to know whether it's just on our end with what we're seeing on screen or whether it's an actual issue that everyone's seeing. We got any comments?
Yeah, Darius is strong.
Alright, just a second. Don't go anywhere, I'll be back in just a second. Alright. Alright. That's looking a little bit better. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why it did this, but it's defaulted back to a bit rate of at 3. It should be like 6.5, man. So that's 6.5 is about the minimum you want. 8 is probably more ideal, but we'll go with 6.5 because we're out here in the country. Yeah, here, man. Alrighty, so look, tonight we'll get stuck into it. We're building Ahmed's editing workstation. So it's not a gaming PC, so look, different kinds of priorities are at play with an editing workstation versus just a gaming PC. So we'll go through the specs and we'll sort of talk a little bit about why the specs are the way that they are and why we've chosen what we've chosen. So I'll go through the components. We've got an i9 13900 24 core 32 thread CPU. We have a 64 gigabyte kit of RAM here. So you might notice this is DDR4. Some people might ask me straight away, why would you use DDR4 with like a high-end workstation here? And it's a very good question. The reason why is it's more compatible if we when it comes to RAM in an editing workstation. It's not so much about the speed and latency, it's about the actual capacity. So there's no need to spend hundreds of dollars extra on the motherboard and hundreds of dollars extra on the RAM, only to get that's less compatible if you wanted to upgrade it in the future and have no real performance benefit for that. And so that's why we have the Gigabyte Aero G DDR4 motherboard. It's the Z690 chipset. It's got dual USB-Cs on the back, integrated Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. We'll check that board out when we get to it. Now for storage, we've got an 8 terabyte hard drive here. We've got a 4TB Gen 4 NVMe SSD. So this is a customer's request, the Samsung 990 Pro. It's generally the pretty much like the most expensive 4TB SSD, but yeah, like I don't argue. If customer's got a preference, it's their PC. So we got a Crucial P3 4TB. So we've got a total of 16 terabytes of storage here. So that's straight up there. You can tell that we're not talking about your average gaming PC that someone's buying to play Call of Duty or something. This workstation here needs space. So this is what we've got. So we'll have Windows here on a 4TB drive. Then we've got another 4TB drive that will probably be used as a scratch drive. So this is the drive that they're going to be copying, writing new data to, using it, and then deleting it off, and then writing more data on it. So basically this drive will end up probably dying before this one, just because of the way it will be used. And then we've also got a hard drive there, 8 terabytes of extra storage. So yeah, that'll get a decent workout as well. We got an RTX 4080 because I believe he's going to be using some software that's GPU intensive. So typically, if you're just doing certain things, you don't need to spend like as much on the graphics card. It just depends exactly what software you're working with and how much they utilize the CPU or the GPU or both. So it gets a little bit complicated there, but basically Ahmed will benefit from the 4080 there. And also, I mean, if he wants to game, I mean, no problems at all. We've got a 1050 watt Cooler Master MWE Gold V2. And we got this guy here. So this is something new. I haven't featured this one before. This is one of Deepcool's new air coolers. So this is the AK620 digital. So it's actually got a digital screen there at the top. So once it's mounted there, just sort of like an AIO that has a screen on it, I think it just tells like statistics like CPU temperature and stuff. I don't think it's like a full-on addressable screen like you'd get with a an AIO that has the addressable screen. But this cooler here is very good performance. It's got two high static pressure fans in there, and it's a twin tower cooler, so it's going to go pretty well for our i9. Once again, the customer requested no liquid cooling for this, so that's why we've gone with this. So there'll be an extra for this design. We're going to have an extra 120mm fan. Just give me a second. Alright, an identical Deepcool fan to match the ones that come in the cooler there. And yeah, finally we're going to be putting it all in the Antec P20C case. So, look, happy days. And I think it might be time for us to switch over. Okay. Let's have a look at this motherboard and see what we actually get. So this board here is one of the more expensive DDR4 boards. For a second there. So we we get a Wi-Fi antenna, multiple M2 screws. We get a noise sensor there if you want to. You need a noise sensor as such. Some SATA cables. I would have thought that the best noise sensors were on opposite sides of your head, but hey, what do I know, right? Alrighty. Let's have a look at this. Very nice looking motherboard. Got a bit of sticky. There we go. So always good advice to remove the sticky. Just because most components are designed to be air cooled. Alright, so what do we get here? So we get 12 pins of CPU power here. Nice, robust, direct touch heat sinks here on our MOSFET VRM coprocessors. So this is what we want for sticking a high powered CPU in there and a high powered GPU. We want this robust cooling around here, because the more powerful CPU you plug in here, the more power runs through all this to run it. So everything around here is more susceptible to overheating the more powerful CPU that you put in. A common amateur mistake, like a first time PC builder who a really cheap motherboard and they'll buy a really expensive CPU and the system will overheat and shut down because there's no heat sinks along here and they've just put in an i9 or something like that. At the top here we've got fan headers. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got a full 8 fan headers. That's about as many fan headers that you can sort of stick on a board. If you need any more than that, you have to use a controller. We've got some RGB headers, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 12 volt, 2 5 volt. We've got 4 slots for our memory, so it's the 4 slots and 2 channels here. Our consumer desktop CPUs, they only talk to 2 channels anyway, so even if it was 4 channels, it wouldn't really mean much to the CPU. We've got 24 pins of power there. That's our main ATX power. We've got USB 3, USB-C and Thunderbolt headers. And just so you can see all this a little bit better, we've got our Thunderbolt headers here. We've got our SATA ports there, total of 6. This one here, this little guy here, this is where you'd plug in your noise sensor if you wanted that. So it's kind of interesting, I guess.
The fuck?
Oh no, this customer's here. He just wants a PC. He's just dropping off a PC.
Oh my god, I've got my fucking pajamas. Fucking beat you, want my fucking gate.
Just take the PC off him, babe.
I'm trying to find some.
Oh, look, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. Oh my god! Oh shit, I'll never hear the end of it from your wife. People aren't meant to come over this time of night. Alright. Jeez. Where the fuck was I? Bottom of the motherboard here says our front panel connectors, the aforementioned 4 fan headers, 2 USB 2s, TPM, our 2 RGB headers that I mentioned before, COM port and front panel audio. We have a total of 3 M2 slots. So 1, 2, 3. We have PCIe X16 and 2 X1 slots down here. So if you look really, really closely, you'll see that the pins end right where my fingertip is, right there. So even though this slot is the same length up here, these 2 slots are only connected part way along. So these are both X4 slots. Sorry, catching my breath. I've got a very long driveway. Oh man. Talk about catching me off guard. Holy shit. Is this real enough for everyone? Alright, so we've got our audio here. So we've got SpyDiff out. Can you like focus on the right thing, camera? SpyDiff and our mic and line out. We've got 2.5 gigabit LAN, USB 3.2 on those 2 there, plus 2 type C, so 2 type A, 2 type C. We've got our display port outs and HDMI. Oh, actually, that's actually a display port in, and that's a HDMI out. So that can come in handy. We've got 4 USB 3.2s there. We've got our Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.1 and a couple of USB 2s there as well. Oh god. My driveway is 100 meters long and roughly 10% grade. So it's steep and it's long. Oh man. And I don't have an automatic gate. So yeah, happy days. Oh, man, I'm like lost my breath from that. Alright, so we'll start with our RAM here. So each one of these DIMMs is 32 gigabytes. So plenty of RAM here. Okay. Now we got our CPU. Look at that. You're meant to autofocus, you silly camera. There we go, that's a lot better, right? This is our i9 13900K. Sorry, not 3900K, it's just 13900. There was no point getting the K. We just needed the core and thread count for this. That's the thing that's important. The K basically means that they're sort of overclocked from factory. So you do get one of LGA cooler? No, I don't. But this is basically a much more robust full aluminium one. it's nowhere near as good as the one we've got there, but it's a significantly better cooler than most. So, oh, a little bit of RGB on it as well. How cool is that?
Fucking God.
What's happening, babe?
You can get a mini Cybertruck for your kid.
A mini Cybertruck for your kid.
1,500 US.
Alright, well yeah, I'm no Elon Musk fanboy or anything like that. A guy I follow now, old Johnny, he's been calling out Elon Musk for being a bit of a douchebag. Before it was back in like 2015, he was calling him out. I don't know what it is. He calls him Electric Jesus because he's got this crazy ass cult following. You know, like in 2015, he was calling out Elon Musk before it was cool to call out Elon Musk. So, yeah, just to give you a bit of an idea. The Cybertruck thing is pretty much a joke. Like, it's a dead concept commercial. Like, come on, dude. You want to sell stuff to the pickup truck or ute market in rural areas. So, are you really going to be convincing too many people in rural areas to give up their diesel trucks and farm equipment and stuff like that in lieu of like... Oh, look, we got a surprise here. We have an extra M2 slot here. So there's actually 4 on this board and not 3. How's that for a bit of sneakiness there? You might be wondering, what's this little guy here? Looks like a smaller M2 drive. It's not actually an M2 drive. This is what we call a CNVI slot. This is basically what your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth looks like. It's a little tiny PCB here with the chips soldered onto it for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. You got a couple of little antenna ports there. These link around here to the antenna ports on the back of the board. So you might have a motherboard that has this little tiny slot for the Wi-Fi, and you can install your own. You might have to disconnect the I/O shield to attach the Wi-Fi antenna. At the end of the day, yeah. So we've got our crucial, that's our, we have so just a couple of bolts to hold these things in place. Oh. And the only thing I should show you, I don't want these bolts to fall out. You do have some sticky to remove here on the thermal pads. So just the ones that are going to be in use. Alrighty, and then we just line up our screws.
It's jumping again. Of course it is. Best night ever.
Best week ever.
People need to get it fucking day.
Oh man. Okay, so we've got our SSD, we've got our RAM, we've got our CPU. The next thing to look at is the cooler. So that's a pretty cool cooler, right? Ha ha ha. Okay. Move over. Oh, that was a horrible sound, wasn't it? Let's get rid of that foam. Okay. So here she is. This is the digital screen. I might leave that sticky on until we got it in the case. So it looks like we've got some pre-installed fans here, it looks like. Okay, so pre-installed fans, but we're actually going to have to pretty much take it apart to mount this. In terms of our kit here, we've got a splitter cable there for our fans if we don't have enough fan headers. Although we got plenty of fan headers. Oh, we got a nice little tube of paste. There's actually a few applications in that, so that's pretty good. If you fuck up your CPU mount and you have to do it again, you got like 3 wishes. Okay, so here's our LGA 1700 or 1200 backplate, and so that pretty much just goes on around the back here. Oh, that one's not in the right position. Oh, they all are except for the one that I looked at. How's that? Alright, so that's our AMD kit. We don't need that. But we do need this. I'm like looking at it, I'm like, this doesn't quite look right. Okay. Alright, so we got these interesting shaped screws here. So these actually go down onto the motherboard, so we screw directly into the back plate there. So if you're doing this for the first time and it's not making sense, it should make sense. I mean, it's fairly intuitive, but sometimes I think things are intuitive and other people don't. And other times other people think things are intuitive and I don't think they are. And yeah, like Elon Musk, getting back to him, if you actually think like he's like smart, he said in an interview, no one alive today knows more about manufacturing than he does. Now, I don't. Okay, the thing is, it's a logical fallacy called Dunning-Kruger, and essentially, he's assuming that he knows more about manufacturing than anyone else, but he doesn't know all of the people who know lots about manufacturing. He hasn't actually gone and spoken to them, and any of the actual experts in manufacturing, none of them would make the claim that they know more about manufacturing than anyone else. They would be like, yeah, okay, I'm an expert in what I do, in other people's businesses, and I certainly would never make the claim that I know more about manufacturing than anyone alive today. Because I guarantee we could find some people who know more about manufacturing than he does. And I reckon none of those people that we find that know more about manufacturing than he does would ever make the claim that they know more about manufacturing than anyone else alive. Because that's just not how experts roll. Problems outside of their like little niche, they always seek advice from their peers, because nobody knows everything about everything. It's just so one thing to be careful here is you've got 3 little notches here, and you want to make sure that it's on nice and straight before you screw it down. So I guess I'd mark them down a little bit on this. Just because it'd be really easy for an amateur to not get those on straight and just to like get too excited and just like a bull at the gate. Okay, so around here we've got our little protector on the bottom. Make sure you always remove that if it doesn't have pre-applied thermal compound. Hey, look at that, it's like a CD. Okay, so hopefully I can get this mounted without actually fucking... Alrighty, so hopefully that's a bit better. Please bear with us with these issues here tonight, as yeah, we're literally this is the first time we've streamed from the computer we're streaming on. Just got everything all installed. Oh, don't have much left in this. I may as well put it on. Yep, and there'll be pretty much exactly one more application from that tube. Yeah, so hopefully that's a bit better. It should be fine though. That was a good one. Freaking orientated these wrong. It's okay, it's no big deal. Oh, are you serious? The screwdriver's not the right thread pitch for these bolts. But that's okay. We don't want them overly tight anyway. Okay, same principle applies. There's 3 positions here. It says 1, 2, and 3. Want to make sure that they're both lined up. And so just screw it down lightly on all 4. Oh. And before you tighten them down, just make sure that they're nice and straight so you get good, even mounting pressure on the CPU. So like I said, screwdriver is not necessarily the best for taking them on. It's actually pretty good for putting them on because you don't want these super tight. The last thing you want to do is end up needing to change the cooler or the CPU, and these bolts are super tight. It can be a very problematic thing, and plus no bolts need to be super tightened. So you can look up the science behind bolts and tightening bolts and stuff like that. It's actually fascinating, and if you don't know about the concepts here, I would definitely suggest you check that out. Oh, look at this. They give us this like Allen key. It's got like a long pitch on the end, so you can do it on an angle. I didn't even notice that. I was like, what's this tool for? I should have like figured, but hey, it's Sunday night. I've had a freaking long week. Okay. Good. Nice even tension. Alright, so we want these cables go up there. We've actually got another fan that we've got to attach now. Okay, so you will have to remove one of the little arms there, and then make sure that your fan is facing the exact same direction as that. And always advisable to remove little wheels. Actually, I'm going to change the orientation of this one. just so we can have a little bit more cable length. Doesn't make any difference, these fans are symmetrical. So once you slide it through, just push it out just a little bit, just enough to get the other clamp on, and sort of push it back into the middle, and then go ahead and clamp it on. Only I should probably lift it up just a little bit there. Okay, very good. And and so all these, we can just bunch them together. Alright. And so that is one chunky air cooler, as you can see. They don't really get much bigger than this, and this is part of the reason why I can't even get it on the screen properly. Look at that. Look at this thing. It's a freaking monster. Okay, well, I think we might move back to regular view. Alrighty, so let's turn our attention to the case. Alrighty, so I do have a hard drive here to install. There we go. So hard drives will either have a couple of holes here or a couple of holes on the side here in these drawers. So generally the minimum that you want is the 4 on the bottom. But sometimes you have to make do with less than that. Parts, so you want them to move around as little as possible. So SSDs, you don't really have to worry about that. They're a little bit more resilient in some ways. Ways not so much, but yeah, in general, more subject to breakage compared to an SSD. So I'm gonna chuck 6 bolts in this. I'm assuming I'm assuming I can fit them. Oh no, I'm literally not going to be able to.
I can do anything.
What?
Anything with my computer.
Okay. So there's our hard drive. Here's all our cables there from the case. So the case has USB 3, USB-C on the front panel. We got 3 fans installed. We got this extra fan to install on the back. We've got a power supply to install. And then our just the software to install, and she'll be ready to go. So we got no offsets to adjust there. We just got our power supply. Alright, so we don't need any of them. We will need this one here. And we'll need a couple CPU and like I said, we don't need any traditional PCIe cables. We'll need at least a SATA cable. yes, and yes. That's all our spares. Okay, so these things are meant to make it easier, but I think they make it harder. No. Where's my BS in engineering? Like, oh, I don't have one? Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. This makes things easier, they say. What?
Elephant that lived in the Manila Zoo since 1981. Lived there alone the whole time.
Oh, shit.
Just passed away.
Oh, God.
That's just horrible. Elephants are social creatures. Very fucking smart. They can listen to music and be moved by the music. If you didn't know that, you need to look that up. Hey, babe. Have a towel. You're not a very good guard dog. You didn't bark at the person at the gate, but you barked at me.
It's fucking going off at me.
I know. I don't think she realised there was even a car at the end of the driveway until you were down.
Okay, power supply in place. These are the cables that we need. Alright, so to start things off, so we just need one SATA. Two CPU, one motherboard, and one graphics card. So fairly easy.
Oh, I don't like that. Some dude 3D prints himself a computer case.
Really? That PC case, that's like that's like freaking X Factor auditions when the person can't see. Oh, real wood. Okay, I thought he 3D printed it all.
Oh, most of it is, but some of it's
The wood isn't.
made.
I thought he like actually went to the effort of 3D printing wood. like something that looked like wood. I'm like, what? Anyway, that's not as retarded as I thought. Okay. Okay, so in the case. Oops, sorry. The screen just pops off the top there, just
The fuck? No. Oh no. Somebody's actually. This is legit.
this is the house that Trump built. Groove Armada style.
It's a MAGA supporter.
Yeah, of course it is.
She's house art.
It looks like the hen house though.
I know, right?
I don't think it's not a house, is it?
Yeah. It's a legit house. That's a cutout that she's got out the front with lights.
Oh my god. But
I know.
where's the freaking HOA? They've got HOAs in America. Where's HOA to you know, HOA only HOAs when they want a HOA, right? Right?
I had to put it down. Where's that HOA at?
Yeah, exactly. That's my thoughts.
That's funny.
And if you're not from America and you don't know what a HOA is, an HOA is called a homeowners association. The closest thing we've got here is like a body corporate for like an apartment block or something like that. And even then, the body corporate is more of a it's more of an administration than
I feel like it's
than
an
like
administration of Karens.
yeah, I think that's a fairly accurate description there. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. Um, what have we got here? We got a better solution. Yeah, I think this will be a better solution. Are you serious?
What's wrong?
Really short length cables, and I'm like becoming centimeters short.
It's got little guys in it.
Yeah, basically.
Help me now.
There we go. We have a solution.
Now. See me the song.
This is the cable here, it's too short. I needed to plug in a splitter, not because I needed to, just because I needed a little bit of extra cable length. And I don't have any of the just straight up extenders. That was my only option. Oh. And so these are our 3 fans from the front. Oh, no, that's... No.
Hopefully not, they're not that silly like that.
I left a thing of case mounting kit in the drive tray once, and was like freaking out that there was like plastic stuck in his PC and he couldn't get it out.
Yeah.
And he's trying to hole there, and and he was swearing that there was stuff stuck in his computer, and
that Tim did it.
like as if I stuck. But no, it was just attached to the drive. Drive out had a zip tie around it attached to the drive tray. I left the kit in there to be helpful. I should just quit being helpful altogether.
Yeah, just stop it. Just stop eating it. Nah, that's not how you make money.
No, unfortunately. Okay, so what's our configuration? Okay, over there. Okay. So one thing you can do to neaten up how it looks here at the front is if you've got 12 pins, peel it back so you've just got the 4 there, then tuck the smaller one behind the big one, just kind of like bend it in shape so it just sort of looks like the one cable. And then if you just chuck one cable tie around it, just to sort of hold it in place. Then it's going to be really easy. Look like one connector there at the top of our case. So we don't have a cooler at the top, so it's really obvious what the CPU plug is going to look like from the front. So alright, and then you can just tuck that CPU cable behind the lip of the case there. That's a relatively simple way of dealing with that. You tuck in any extra motherboard cable down there. Don't go too crazy on the cable ties. You'll regret that as soon as you have a problem. And you have to cut them all out. Can even be a pain in the ass, just like a fan and stuff like that. Okay. We just have our front panel connectors and our graphics card. Okay, so we will need a SATA cable. Okay.
Are you being fluffy? Fluffy meow.
Okay. Graphics card. Look at this freaking prick. Good douche, hey? Alright. As usual, Asus have this like wrapped up. Under the screws. Oh god, that's like a washer. Looks like a washer made from Come have a look. They're these like washers. Bolts are over the top of this. Yeah. Can we show people up close? Because this is cost-cutting measures at ASUS.
Under these two screws, there's like a little plastic washer.
Yeah, it looks like the sticky. I thought it was the sticky. I tried to.
The bolts need to be taken out to get that out. It's actual like you have to get rid of that.
No, it's not. That's meant to be there if the bolt's over the top of it.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Customers should not be removing any bolts from a graphics card.
Yeah, I guess.
It is a sealed unit from the manufacturer. You do not open up the graphics card unless you fully understand what that means. Because they will not accept your warranty claim if you've been opening up and playing around with their product.
Yeah, no,
they will just go, nah, sorry.
You touched it, you broke it.
Yeah. It's the you break it, you bought it mentality, right? You fuck with it and you break it, well, looks like you bought yourself a brick. Have fun with your brick. It's got nothing to do with us anymore. Okay, so as you can see, it's only got the two slots there at the front. That can be a little bit problematic for 40 series cards because bricks, well, not all 40 series cards, of course, just like the 4080 and the 4090 and the 4070 Ti. I guess there's some big ones out there. So we're using slots 2 and 3 here. Should probably get a BIOS. Okay, so because this card is particularly large and doesn't have 3 slots at the back, I'm gonna utilize the support bracket that comes with it. Nah. The only out. It's so massive that the little graphics card holder thing was actually I'll sorry, too freaking high on its lowest level. Are they on your desk? Just put them on. Just put them on that. You're like Walter White with his cancer diagnosis. Like right in the middle of something else. And it's like...
You have mustard in your shirt.
Okay. And that is our PC. Oh.
You forgot about it, didn't you?
No, I was trying to take the sticky off. I was peeling the sticky off and it was coming off. Like the whole thing was coming off from peeling the sticky off.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Strong sticky?
Strong sticky.
It's funny, yeah?
Yes. Oh.
The BIOS is literally less than a month old.
Cool, cool. So just give it a bit. We've got 64 gigabytes of RAM in here, so it takes a little bit longer to post. Here we go. starting to worry now. Alright, I think we're looping. It's not good. No obvious signs of drama. What's up? No. It's all set up.
It's not working.
Yeah, I know. It's not posting. Okay. So if we're having trouble posting, I'm going to go ahead and remove one dim. And you might be thinking, why do that? What difference is that going to make? Sometimes motherboards do weird things with larger kits of memory. Sometimes it just won't post properly. You take one stick out, then it's just got the one to deal with. Then it posts, then you can shut it off, then you can plug the other one in, then no problems. So we'll try that. Come on. You know you want to. Okay, so let's try jeez. Oh man. This is really awkward to get this stick of memory in. There we go. Bloody hell, that was hard. The slots behind the cooler there, making for a bit of a awkward situation. Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah.
Oh, we're just cycling between RAM and CPU, so it's like the most common kind of error that you'll have. We were cycling with 2 DIMMs plugged in. Now we've just got single DRAM. All right, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that we've got bad RAM or bad bad RAM or bad CPU, or a bad motherboard for that matter. So the only thing, usually this shouldn't be an issue anymore, because I mean, Intel 13th gen's been out for a little while now. But we do have a Z690, not a Z790. So there is a chance that there is a really old BIOS on this board before 13th gen came out. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to chuck on a different CPU just for a little bit. See, look, this is the example we need the extra thermal paste for, right? No, nothing like that, dude. Nothing like that. Like I said, I've given you my expert prognosis there. So we're gonna move ahead with that. Look. Okay, so we'll remove the graphics card there, and we've got to remove, we have to remove a fan. Oh. I thought it was with you.
Oh.
So I'll feel like a bit of an idiot if this isn't right, but I'll feel like even more of an idiot if I fucked around with it for several hours and then all I needed to do was update the BIOS with my 12th gen CPU. Okay. This is why sometimes it's not all that fun to build your own PC. Because I mean, like, let's be real. It's okay. It's okay for me. Oh god, I've got to take the. I take one of the brackets off to undo the CPU. Oh, adding more work. Whatever. Alrighty, there's our i9. So we're going to leave that bad boy there. Here we go. Here is our i3 12100F. So watch out. This is a very, very, very intense CPU. Okay, let's plug in the other DIMM.
This is a bit dim.
Yeah, it's a bit dim. Our prospects are looking a bit dim. No. Is there a graphics card up there that belongs to me? My little test one.
I put it there. Oh wait, no.
Here we go. All right, so we're gonna put this one to the side. Instead, we're gonna use this weapon here. Okay, so this is a GT710 X1 with 4 display outputs. So what this is for, that you would not want to be running 4K display outputs on this. Okay, this is for like you know, like displaying frickin' screens at like a fast food restaurant, having the menus up on the board, you know, low resolution image that can be scaled up big and still look good. That's what this is for. However, an X1 graphics card that's older gen PCIe that'll basically work with any computer I want to plug it into, that's a pretty good graphics card for me and my purposes. So I don't care that it's a GT710, it doesn't make any difference for me. Okay, so I can't lift it up because the cooler is sort of all tied in there. But we can see what happens when I turn it on. So if I'm right, we're going to post and then we'll do a BIOS update. Alrighty, show me a post. Would you look at that? Yeah. What? Oh. Alright. Okay, yeah, so look at that. BIOS date, the 17th of December 2021. It's nearly 2 years old. Here's one that's up to date. Invalid BIOS image. Z690 Aero G DDR4. Z690 Aero G DDR4. Okay, what's the dealio here? Rev 1.1. It's not fucking, it's saying invalid.
Eh? There's only one though. It's just the thing that takes you to the features.
That's really weird.
Oh, the internet's like fucked. You gotta wait. You gotta wait. It's like it's 2001 again.
Yeah, I know. Can I have the other USB there? Just the, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Can I have it?
I haven't put it on
Yeah,
there.
yeah, just chuck it here.
Do you want driver updates?
No, what's the latest for BIOS? Well, what's the
F8, F28C.
yeah? That's the one that I had. It didn't
Do you want
work.
F8, F28B?
Yeah, maybe try the slightly earlier one because that definitely is the right board. It's not saying anything wrong. It says 1.x, which means
Yeah.
1 point anything.
Yeah.
Any of them are fine.
Something to put it on. Oh, it's gonna take a while. Tomorrow.
Just a sec. Got like every other freaking.
Should get you this bucket hat too.
Haha, nice. one thing after another here, isn't it?
Excuse me. No. What are you doing? No. No. What's this? She's got a sticker stuck to it. Come here. Wait. Going through the rubbish bin, hey?
Oh, have you been naughty?
Want a sticker like that?
Got like a little nose come up between my legs. See, whenever she gets in trouble from one of us, she goes and like hides behind the other one. So Christine was getting up her, and now she's under the table there with me. Is that thing copied?
It hasn't even downloaded yet.
Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't. It shouldn't be taking this long.
Well, it's like 3/4 done.
It's a freaking BIOS file. It's like 2 megs.
I can't control the internet, Tim. You're a puppy. Oh, it's done.
What the fuck? Now it's reading it.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't know. Let's get the new one on there, and hopefully it won't be as weird anymore. So yeah, this is why you don't necessarily want to build your own PC. Because unless you got a spare CPU there and some idea about what the actual problem might be, you're in for like hours and hours of anxiety and frustration and all of that sort of stuff. So I mean, if you've got the time to spend and you don't mind a challenge, go for gold. It's kind of like gambling, you know. There's like a chance of yeah, there's like a chance of actually like losing, but you could also win and have nothing go wrong at all.
It's not showing anything on my own. I don't know if it has been on.
Oh no, just restarted for the BIOS update. Yeah, I know. I can see. So I'm not 100% sure why we're just stuck on a VGA light. Okay. So yeah, that's one of the downsides with this card is while it's overall very compatible, if you plug it into a new motherboard, sometimes it can get a bit confused, especially when it's a X1 card and X16 slot. That can sometimes cause some hiccups, and that's basically what was happening there. I clicked on update BIOS and it wanted to shut down and restart, and then it was stuck on a VGA post error light. All I needed to do was press power off and it rebooted back into BIOS. Now I've gone in again and clicked update and it's doing its thing. And so yeah, once that's done, then we can plug the i9 back in, tighten the cooler down, plug the 4080 back in, and we'll be good to go. Okay. So now we got the bottom of that one. Okay, and okay. Alright, so there should be the perfect amount for one application left in this tube. Yeah.
Request an overclock. Does it matter if the BIOS you're updating is only 3 months older than the current?
Is only 3 months older than the current.
One.
What do you mean?
Does it matter if the BIOS you're updating is only 3 months older than the current one?
What do you... That didn't happen though. We went from F6 or something like that to F28C.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what hexadecimal is, man? And I'm not trying to be a smartass or anything like that, but
Oh, I think he got confused.
the codes are in hexadecimal, so F28C is more than F6. Basically, in hexadecimal, the letters and the numbers are numbers. And that might sound really weird, but...
It went F26, F27, F28, F28B, and then F28C. We were going to go with the F28B, but then it started updating and started reading the file for 28C.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't read the up to date ones. So we went with like there was a slightly slightly older one. So there was a slightly older one. That's what we updated to, and that'll be update enough to solve.
I haven't even given you the slightly older one.
No, I had it already on the other thing, on the SSD.
Oh.
That's why I was like, just give me the thing back. Yeah, I was just trying to. Okay. That's all in place. There we go. No. F28 point C is yeah, it's confusing. Basically, hexadecimal is the numbers.
Oh, I think he knows what that is. He just saw it as something on the store.
Yeah, that's alright. I'll just explain to anyone who's listening who doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So I don't assume to know who knows about it or what. But hexadecimal is like an, you know how you got like the numbers like 1 to 10 is like normal. So imagine if you had a number system where instead of just the numbers like 1 to 10, imagine if you had the numbers 1 to 15. 8, 9 is 9, and 10 is A, 11 is B, 12 is C, 13 is D, 14 is E, and 15 is F. And then you repeat from there. So it's basically a system of counting that was introduced back when every character, every last little bit of information had to be accounted for, and we needed to make things as efficient as possible. So now it's a number system that's used heavily in computers and stuff like that. You'll see it time in, time again. The first time I ever got exposed to hex, like in the real world, like not in school or anything like that, was actually on my Game Boy Advance with my what was it, power save tool or whatever it was, and the codes that you entered were in hex. So yeah, you got to realize what that system was, even when I was when I was young. But yes, that's what the BIOS numbers are. It'd be like F.1, like F1 and stuff like that. It's representing a bigger number than what you see there. You just see a single number and a letter, and you're like, oh yeah. Anyway, we've got our graphics card plugged in, we've got our CPU plugged in, our right CPU, we've got our 64 gigabytes of RAM, and if it doesn't work, I think I'm going to cry and go offline. Okay. And so yeah, the original BIOS on this board before we updated it was from 2021. Would have been one of the first BIOSes this board would have been shipped with. Okay, so just give it a second, because with a new CPU in it, it's basically got to post again for the first time. I'm starting to think there's a bigger problem than the motherboard.
Really?
But at least we've kind of checked the RAM and the motherboard at this stage.
That's so cool.
Not good, but I mean, at least at this stage we can confirm that the motherboard works right. We can rule out a BIOS issue and compatibility issue with our 13900. However, now we're left with the possibility. Oh, we've also got no reason to think there's anything wrong with our hard drive or our SSDs or our RAM. Realistically, the only things that we haven't sort of independently verified at this stage is the graphics card and that particular CPU. Now I got in there and I cleared CMOS after it didn't work the first time, so we've taken that out of the equation. It's not trying to like load up with other settings. No, I mean it's just freaking cycling. So I mean I can try one of the same things again. We can remove a stick of memory because sometimes it doesn't like that. Power on. That looks like the exact same pattern there, cycling between CPU and RAM. So, like I say to people all the time, CPU and RAM are kind of joined at the hip. So if you see a problem like a light indicating one, you can't possibly rule out the other one just based on the lights. So. But like I said, we've already got both of these sticks posting and everything working fine with another CPU on this board. So we have no reason to think that there's a problem with our RAM, and we have no reason to think that there's a problem with the motherboard. So okay, let's be really thorough. Let's clear CMOS again. Turn it on. And now we're just stuck on a solid CPU light.
That's kind of strange.
What?
Because I saw FA just one on the new glass too. I thought I saw FAA on the new glass from just before it intentionally went down. But in the video, yeah, it says FAA. There's no
Scroll down.
There's no F8A.
It's F. Oh, it was F28A. That's what I clicked on.
F28A, yeah, there's F28C or F28B. So A.
Were you looking at the checksum and not the version?
This says 12EA in the checksum.
I don't know. This is all a little bit strange.
Was this another one that you accidentally clicked on in the...
But it won't do anything unless it's a compatible BIOS version.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, because it's yes, F28C. Tim clicked on, but after the update, it was showing F8A. That's fucking weird.
Alright, well... Okay, well... What will we do?
Throw it out, start again.
Haha. Okay, let's open up another motherboard. Unfortunately, I don't have a Sperry around here. Okay, so this one here is a B760M. So this is definitely the right generation of motherboard. Should not need any BIOS update at all. So I'm going to go ahead and chuck in. What's wrong here? Oh, that's right. There we go. So one stick of DDR5. Where are we? Let's chuck my i3 away there. Okay. 13900 in. El Cheapo is in. Motherboard. CPU. So here is our regular Intel stock cooler. Okay, well, okay, so what we have in front of us there is a PC, and if I hit these two little pins there, that turns it on. And so what we want to see here, oh, we don't even have LED indicators on this board. That's how crappy it is. Nah, it's fine, there's nothing wrong with this board. So if this posts, we obviously have something weird going on with the BIOSes on that board, because it was working with another CPU. Is that a post? That's a post. Look at that. Okay. So now we gotta get to the fucking bottom of this. Can I get that? Apparently not.
What?
Can I get that other BIOS? The other one that you downloaded?
Yes. We'll wait a while for it to... Oh, no.
Okay. So we got our i3 back in this one. Now let's figure out what went on with that BIOS. Now did I just make a boo-boo and think that the version that I was updating to was F28 when it was like, I don't know, something a bit earlier than that? Okay. BIOS version F8A.
What?
That's the one that was updated to, but
How,
it's still relative. It's still not too. It's still way better than the first one. Anyway.
That's not even on here.
So F28B.
Yeah.
Alright, well, it liked that. Yeah, I think I've just like read it too quickly and just been like, oh yeah, there's F28A there. So yeah, my bad, but at least we did work out what the problem was. Because yeah, I mean, if our CPU posted on the other board there, we got no reason to think that there's anything wrong with the CPU. If CPUs are bad, they're consistently bad. You can plug them into 10 motherboards. It's not like they're going to work in one of them or something like that. Okay, look at that. We got a brand spanking new BIOS. It looks completely different as well. Okay, well, shoot her down. God damn it, how frustrating. How bloody frustrating. What's that, sorry?
I said because as a luckily I thought it might have been chasing the issue for a bit and spent some money.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that, you know, if you don't have lots of spare parts laying around and stuff, you can easily be like, yep, my CPU's fucked, blah, 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 and take it back and expect to be getting your money back, and then they just turn around and go, no, CPU's fine. No problems at all. So, have fun. Isopropyl alcohol is your friend, 100% pure if you can. But a bit of isocol will work in pinch. Just remember that isocol is like 30-ish% water.
I need to use that on the keyboard. Some of my keys are starting to
Yeah, that can happen. Okay. Okay, bloody hell, third time's a charm, right? Okay. Third time is a fucking charm. Haha. Would you look at that? Yeah, I think so. You'd be surprised how much more you can get in there.
doing? I already got. Oh.
Already said no. Oh, I've got to rip it into teeny tiny little fucking pieces. Never mind.
Okay. Okay, I don't think there's anything I've forgotten there. All good, all good. Alrighty, so there's our drives all set up there. Okay, so now we're online. We can go ahead and install some stuff. Alright, well, this is all nearly sorted. Alrighty. So that's all of our devices installed. Always come into computer management and just double check that all of your drivers are installed. Alright, so everything's all installed, ready to go. So this isn't a gaming PC, but for consistency's sake, we'll run the gaming benchmarks. And then that's going to be it for the night. I'm really tired after all that. Had a big freaking day. Oh. If we do that, I might want to actually put MSI Afterburner on. I didn't do that because I'm like, oh yeah, it's not a gaming PC. Okay. What's up?
Oh, undo classes. And we look back and we definitely have an F8A.
Yeah. No, we're past that. We're all good.
And then also, how's the cat? He's alright. He's a cat. He's eating. What brand does this thing have?
It's Corsair Vengeance 3600 megahertz CL18. It is the 64 gigabyte kit, so 2 times 32 gigabytes. That was really weird. It didn't install all of the drivers for Reaver Tuner.
That's pretty cool. All class code.
I'm so tired. It's just not going to work. It just doesn't like me. For some reason, it's just not downloading the other files for Reaver Tuner. It's just not going to work. Like, it's all set up. And yeah, it's not going to work. So it's hitting 600 FPS here in the opening scene. Okay, so right up in the top right hand corner you got some basic statistics. Alrighty, so that was heaven there on high with no anti-aliasing. So I think that's where we'll probably leave it for tonight. I'm just going to start the stress test. Like I said, it's not a gaming PC, and yeah, it's getting really late. Oh, look, the overlay's working there. Stupid thing. Alright, so we'll set this up to run for 90 minutes. And yeah, it goes straight to 100C. So to do something about that, if you want it to run a bit cooler, you want to install XTU. Okay, so if you want to make your like Intel 12th or 13th gen i9 sort of behave itself a bit more thermally for intense workloads, what you can do is you can come in here and you can set a wattage limit. So we'll set a wattage limit of 150. Okay. Alright, so we went straight to 100C before, and now we have the wattage limit. Yeah. Huh. There we go. And I mean, even with the power limit, it absolutely smashes. And with that wattage limit, it's no longer at 100C, it's now in the 70s. Happy days. And so you can tune that a bit more. You can put it up. We could like put it up to like, alright, let's up it by 20 watts and have a look what it does to temperatures. Yeah, so we could probably get away with 170. Alright, nearly 190, let's have a look at that. In the 80s, I mean, it's getting a little bit warm, but yeah, I think we'll save it. We'll save 150 in. Profiles, you can save a profile. All right. So let me reopen hardware monitor now. Now that we've finished mucking around. And then it can log our temperatures. Alright, well I think that's where we'll leave it for tonight. So look, thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next video.